Alright, what up Adamsters? Welcome back to another Arknight and Fields video. Today we're going to go over how to make, I'm going to show you guys how to make LC WULING batteries, because if you're like me, you would be broke right now in this place, and luckily I figured out how to make LC WULING batteries, because holy is it a super annoying, and it takes a while to start making these. So I'm going to try and make this tutorial as simple as possible. So you could make it all in one region, but for energy wise, to not consume too much more energy, I'm going and I made it in our main area. We're going to be making the first step, which is zeronite. That is one component you need to start making the LC Woolly batteries. We're going to be going over the two components you need and how to build both of them, but first we're going to go over one, and I hope this helps you guys, because it took me a while to start making these. I'm not going to lie to you. So first we're gonna go to seed. You're gonna want a seed picking and planting unit. Okay, you want to put buck flowers into the seed picking unit into the planting unit, and here's what you want to do. You want to have one conveyor belt going back into the seed picking unit so that you have infinite buck flowers, and then you want one conveyor belt, another one going out of the planting unit. So you want two conveyor belts from the planting unit, one going back into the seed picking unit and one going into a different one. So here we go. Okay, there we go. You take this other conveyor belt and you want to go put it into a refining unit, which makes carbon. Carbon is a key component for this, and if you watch my video on how the only video you will need to make gold armor, you should already have this completed. Everything I'm showing you now, if you have watched how to make gold armor, you should have this stuff completed. And then you want a conveyor belt going from the refining unit into your base, so you're collecting that carbon non-stop. So again, seed picking unit, you want buck flowers. Seed picking unit into planting unit. Planting unit back into seed picking unit, and another conveyor belt from the planting unit going to refining unit, and then the refining unit going to your base, so you have infinite carbon. And you're also going to want sunflower seeds. So the same thing with sunflowers. I mean, not the seeds, you want the sunflowers. Same thing, if you watched my video on how to make gold armor, you know it's literally the same exact thing. Sunflower plant goes into seed picking unit, back into planting unit back into seed picking unit. But for this, you want another conveyor belt from the planting unit straight to your base, so you're getting infinite sunflower plants. But you should already have that down if you watched the other video. And then you're going to want to go back to wooling into your main base for wooling city. We're gonna finish, and I'm gonna tell you how to make zeronite completely, so that's one step out of the way. So let's skip here. Right, so the first step, what you want is the green flowers. So everything we've done to this point is for this. From your output ports, you're going to want two carbon output ports and one sunflower plant. The sunflower plant itself, not the seed, the plant output port. So two carbon output ports, one sunflower output port. 3 shredding units, 2 for carbon, 1 for sunflowers. Okay, so 2 for carbon, 1 for sunflowers. You're gonna want to go 1 second actually. Yeah, okay. Grinding it, you want 2 grinding units. Sunflower carbon going to grinding, and then for the other one, sunflower carbon. Okay, you want them both in front of the shredding unit, so you can just stick them straight in and it will be making what it needs to make. And then you want 2 refining units. You want to take those, stick them into the refining units. Since you want 2 refining units, right? You want to take those 2 refining units and put it into Forge of the Sky. You're going to want to make, that's the ending huge thing you see there. Right there, Forge of the Sky. You see that? That is the main machine that makes the zeronites. For this, you're going to want, you see that, you're going to want a hydro pump. There is a water there, so it's infinite supply of water coming from there. and you're going to want to connect it to the Forge of the Sky. Not only that, you're going to want to put the refining units, whatever the refining units are making, into Forge of the Sky so you can make Zeronites. So that's the first step completed. Here's the thing. If you watch my video on how to make gold armor, you're going to want another conveyor belt. So you can use that other conveyor belt and put it into your base. So you're getting an infinite amount of Zeronites. Okay? So one going into the gearing unit to make your armor plates, and one going into your base so you can have an infinite supply to make the LC Woolly batteries. So that is the first step, how to make Zeronites. Next step we're going to do is how to make dense originium powder, okay? This step is very easy, very simple. All you have to do for this is have one output port with originium and one output port with, again, sunflower plants, not seeds, okay? It's very important that you have the plants going. Originium goes into shredding unit. Sunflower plants go into the shredding unit. So 2 shredding units here. And then they both go into a grinding unit to make dense originium powder. That is just as simple as that. 2 shredding units, one for originium, one for sunflowers. You put them both in a grinding unit, you get dense originium powder. Really easy. For this, you're going to want 2 ports as well. One going into your base and one going to make your gold armor. There's obviously more steps to make gold armor, so you should check out that video if you haven't. But you want 2 conveyor belts, one for the armor and one going straight to your base so you have an infinite supply of dense originium powder. After that, you're going to want to go to your other base because I didn't have enough ports. Now this is it. This is the final step to make your LC WULING batteries. This is a lot, okay? 3 output ports have to be dense originium powder, 3 of them, and then 1 output port for Zeronites. The reason you want 3 output ports for dense originium powder and only 1 for Zeronite is, let me show you why. If you look at this machine inside, right? You have to have 3 lanes for dense originium powder and 1 lane for Zeronite. So you're constantly having enough originium powder to make, or I mean you could, but I just do it like this. Have 3 originium powder outputs and 1 Zeronite output, okay? That's it. This is the last step. You put them into a packaging unit, right? You put the dense originium powder and the Zeronite into the packaging unit, and then you take that, put it back to your base, and you have an infinite supply of LC WULING batteries so you can get some money in this area. And they're 30 per piece, so that's very, very good. You get a lot. Just from 362, I was able to get like 11k. So, you know what? Very good. Very good to have. That's pretty much it. Let me know down below if this video helped you guys. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. If you guys like, remember to like, subscribe, and turn this post notification bell. Peace out, Adamsters. Take care.